Husband catches cheating wife, exposes her affair in the most savage way possible. Hi, I'm Elsa, and I'm 33 years old. This is my real-life story, a tale of love, betrayal, and the unexpected twists that changed my life forever. I never thought I would be the protagonist of such a story, but life has its own way of humbling us. Let me take you back to where it all began. I married Markus when I was 25. He was everything a woman could want: kind, loyal, and with a quiet strength that made me feel safe. For 8 years, we lived in a small, picturesque village in Bavaria. Life seemed perfect. Markus worked as an artisan, crafting beautiful wooden sculptures, while I worked as a freelance graphic designer. But somewhere along the way, I changed. The mundane routine of our lives began to suffocate me. Markus was dependable, yes, but he had become predictable. I longed for excitement, for passion, for the kind of romance I read about in novels. That's when Leon entered my life. Leon was a client I met through a design project. He was charming, confident, and had a spark in his eyes that made me feel alive in a way I hadn't felt in years. It started innocently: emails about the project, a few jokes, a coffee meeting here and there. But soon, the lines blurred. I told myself I wasn't doing anything wrong. After all, I hadn't crossed any boundaries yet. But deep down, I knew the truth. I was living a double life, one as Markus' devoted wife and another as a woman chasing fleeting thrills. Leon and I began meeting in secret. It was intoxicating. The stolen moments, the whispered words of affection. It was like stepping into a world where only the two of us existed. I thought I was clever, that Markus would never suspect. But Markus was more observant than I gave him credit for. One evening, Markus casually asked, "Elsa, do you think we've been drifting apart lately?" His question caught me off guard. "No, why would you say that?" I replied, forcing a smile. He shrugged, his expression unreadable. "Just a feeling." I didn't realize then that Markus had already started piecing things together. A week later, Markus suggested inviting a guest for dinner. "It'll be nice to have company," he said. I agreed, not knowing he had already planned the evening with a purpose. When I opened the door that Friday evening, my heart stopped. There stood Leon, a bouquet of flowers in hand. He smiled warmly, but the color drained from my face. "Leon's an old acquaintance," Markus said, his tone cheerful. "I thought it'd be great to catch up." My mind raced as we sat down for dinner. Markus was his usual composed self, pouring wine and chatting about mundane topics. But there was an undercurrent to his demeanor, a sharpness I couldn't ignore. Halfway through the meal, Markus turned to Leon and said, "Elsa and I have a little tradition. We share poetry with our guests. Elsa, why don't you recite that piece you've been working on?" I froze. The poem Markus referred to was one I had written for Leon, a private expression of the feelings I could never say aloud. How did Markus know about it? I'm not sure it's ready," I stammered. "Nonsense," Markus said with a smile that didn't reach his eyes. "It's beautiful, even unfinished." With trembling hands, I recited the poem. Every word felt like a dagger slicing through the facade I had built. Markus listened intently, his gaze piercing. Leon, meanwhile, looked increasingly uncomfortable. When I finished, silence filled the room. Then Markus leaned back, his expression calm, but his voice laced with quiet authority. "It's remarkable," he said, "how art can reveal truths we try to hide." Leon's face turned pale, and I felt a wave of shame crash over me. The next morning, Markus was gone. On his pillow, he left a letter. "Elsa, I gave you my heart, my trust, and my life. But I cannot share you with another. You chose a momentary spark over the steady flame we built together. I hope you find what you're looking for, but I can't be a part of this anymore. Markus." The days that followed were the darkest of my life. The village soon learned of my betrayal. Leon distanced himself, unwilling to face the consequences. I was left alone to confront the ruins of the life I had once taken for granted. But this story isn't just about betrayal, it's about redemption. Losing Markus forced me to look inward, to confront the flaws that had led me down this path. I sought therapy, reconnected with old friends, and worked tirelessly to rebuild myself. As for Markus, I heard he moved to another town, where he found solace in his art and perhaps even a new love. I'll never forgive myself for the pain I caused him, but I've learned to live with the regret, carrying it as a reminder of the choices I must never make again. This is my story, a story of love lost, lessons learned, and the price of betrayal. If nothing else, I hope it serves as a cautionary tale for others. Love is precious, and trust, once broken, is nearly impossible to mend.